Hello, everyone. It's Molly. Happy Motivational Monday. Sorry, I missed you last week. I took off. I took a week off. And I just want to say that sometimes in life that is needed. It is needed to take a week off. And if you feel guided to do certain things, go for it, do it. But if you are feeling like you just need a break, take the break because a lot of times ourselves just need it and we need to work through other things. And that's how I felt last week. Last week I ended up going to the beach with my girls and a friend, and it was one of those things where I had this mindset that, I'm going to go to the beach and everything's just going to be better. Like, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be more relaxed. Everything's just going to just magically fall into place. Like, I had this great, crazy idea in my mind. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I have slowed down. And you know what happens sometimes when we slow down? Sometimes then we start to feel things that we weren't allowing ourselves to feel when we're busy. Because sometimes we do that as human beings. We get really busy and then we forget to sit back in the silence and allow ourselves to move through and feel any frustrations that we may be feeling. So I want to talk a little bit about what I learned over the past week about myself, about things that I need to work on. And I really do feel like those things are things that are probably resonating with lots of you right now. You might even be feeling the energy of everything just moving and changing right now. And what was really fascinating to me is a lot of this time I took off, I literally felt like I was in some alternate reality. It was as if someone picked me up and put me somewhere completely foreign, and I didn't understand anything that was going on. Things didn't resonate in the way they normally do. Like, things didn't make sense in the way they normally do. I felt like I wasn't being understood. I felt like the way I was viewing the world was changing. It was a lot of reflection about what is important and what's not important, and who's important and who's not important, and how is my way of reacting and responding to people creating a world that doesn't fit with who I am today. Okay? And what I mean by that is, sometimes it's going to be really easy to go, oh, well, if I get a break or if I get away from this person or that person, then everything's going to be fine. And you do that, but things aren't fine. And the reason why things aren't fine is because it has nothing to do with that other person. It has everything to do with who you are, what you are, how you're responding, or how you used to respond, and how those behaviors have created a situation where it has given people permission to treat you a certain way. And I know for me personally, I struggled for so long with the boundaries thing. And now I'm recognizing that I did not do well with creating boundaries for myself, especially when I was in my 20s. Not in my 20s anymore, but people who've been in your life for a long time, when you create this perception or this idea of who you are and how it's okay to be treated, when you start to grow and learn that that wasn't healthy for you, and it really wasn't healthy for the other person either, it can be really difficult to go, hey, I've decided I no longer want to be a square. I'm changing to a triangle. And if you want to be in my life, then you're going to have to change to the triangle also, or we're just not going to vibrationally match anymore. And it's hard because some people in your life you don't want to let go. You desperately want them to change into that shape that fits yours. But here's where things get a little bit messy. You can ask for what you want. You can present yourself to the world in the way that you want to be seen and be heard and be appreciated. That does not necessarily mean that the people you have surrounded yourself with are going to respect you or respond to you in that way. Now, I personally don't believe that that means that you should just be like, hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more. Now, there are some people in your life where you might feel like you're going to have to say, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. But sometimes those people that are staying in your life are staying in your life for you to learn your lesson, right? So that frustrating person that you say, hey, I don't like that, stop doing it, and they turn around an hour later and create the same behavior, you've got two options. You can speak up again for yourself, or you can take space, take a break, reevaluate. And you also have to take that time. If you're spiritually open and spiritually connected, go within and find out what's going on with that. Maybe that person couldn't even understand what you were saying in that moment, because in that moment, they were still seeing you as the old version of you. They still look at you and you still look like a square. You don't look like a triangle anymore, right? Now, I will tell you that how I'm feeling with this, and I would love to hear how you feel if you're experiencing this right now. I get upset. I cry. I know for me, though, I'm crying because I am grieving that old version of me that felt it was okay to not have boundaries, that felt it was okay to not speak up for myself because I didn't want to hurt somebody else's feelings. But here's the deal. Your needs are essential, especially your emotional needs. Your beliefs are your beliefs. You have a right to them. You have a right to feel the way that you do. No one else has the right to tell you that you're wrong for feeling the feelings that you feel. No one has the right to shut you down and tell you that you're not allowed to feel them because it makes them feel uncomfortable. Because that's not your problem. It is not your problem if someone else is uncomfortable that you're upset. And this has been hard for me because there are so many times in my life where I have allowed myself to be seen as larger than life, as indestructible, as someone who doesn't break down or cry or have any other feelings that aren't equated to let me be what you need me to be for you. Who's felt that? You spend so much time being that person for others that you forget about yourself. And then you realize that you forgot about yourself. And then you have to grieve that. You have to cry because you forgot about you. I did a lot of crying this week in realization that the old me forgot about me a lot. And I still carried the pain from that. And I still am having moments in my life where I am being given the opportunity to grieve that. Because when I set myself in a position where I am now a triangle and someone's trying to put me back into my square shape, it's when I get hit with the, oh my gosh, you did that to yourself. You did that to yourself. You allowed that. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm over here beating myself up, and you should not be over there beating yourself up and punishing yourself. What it needs to be is a realization and an embracing of the fact that you are now aware. You're now aware that there are healthier ways and there are better ways for you to take care of you. But in order to fully take care of you, you have to be willing to grieve and let go of that version of you that didn't know it yet, didn't know how to do that, didn't realize that, didn't understand that that's what needed to happen. He didn't understand how to speak up for herself or himself. It's okay. As we go through different cycles in life, we realize and we change and we grow and we move. Or we get stuck and we stay there. And I don't want to be stuck anymore. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be stuck anymore. And this current energy right now is really making it hard to stay stuck. It isn't working. The more you force yourself to stay in a state of being that no longer works for what your soul wants, for what your true authentic self wants, you're not going to see anything or feel anything that's going to be positive if you keep pushing away your forward movement. So this past week, I worked on feeling. I worked on realizing all of those times that I did not speak up for myself, for my needs. I stood up and realized and worked through the feelings that came from that. Am I done? No. Is this a layered experience? Absolutely. Because we're human and we're having a human experience, but our soul wants us to be true and authentic to who we are. And sometimes during that human experience, we forget to step forward into our authentic self, or the lessons that we need to learn happen when we are perhaps not being as true to ourselves in the way we need to. But I will say this, honesty is key. And I'm not saying honesty towards other people. I'm saying honest with yourself. Honest with yourself. So hard to do. When you sit back and you go away for a week and go, oh, if I get out of the house, because this is what I said. And you might have felt this too when you've stepped away, but I genuinely thought I was going to step out of this house and step out of this environment and take a break, and suddenly, magically, everything was going to be better. No. Suddenly, magically, things got quiet. And I realized that I need to take care of me in the way that, in an authentic, healthy, loving, kind way. And the people who made me feel, human perception here, the people who made me feel like I wasn't doing that weren't really making me feel anything. All they were doing is stepping up and mirroring to me what it was that I wasn't doing for myself. And I think that's what the tricky part is when we're walking in this lifetime and we're working on being our true authentic selves. You cannot be truly authentic to yourself if you're going around going, well, it's that person's fault that I feel this way, or it's that person's fault that this didn't happen for me, or it's that person's fault that I'm not happy. No, those people are challenging you to step up and take care of you in the way you're meant to take care of you. If you feel like that person isn't meeting your needs, it's probably because you're not meeting your needs. And that person is mirroring to you what you're not doing for yourself. If you're sad and upset about what that person is doing, it's probably because you didn't do a very good job of communicating with the world and sharing your energy in the way that it was needed to make those people or that person understand what it is and isn't that you will and will not allow. You weren't clear. And sometimes when we realize we weren't clear and we get clear, it doesn't mean that person's going to get it. Sometimes they still need more time or space. Because you didn't get it. Think about this for a minute. If someone is treating you in a way that you don't like, but you never stood up for yourself and then realized, oh my gosh, I never stood up for myself because I was not taking care of me in the way that I needed to. And then you decide to stand up for yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day. But it also lends to saying that person that you're working so hard now to see and demand how you want to be treated or how you have changed, is that person someone that is meant to be sticking around in your life? Are they meant to be staying in your life? Because if they are, then you need to embrace the fact that in those moments when they step up and start emulating to you the way you allow them to treat you in the past, if they keep continuing that behavior and you keep saying, no, that is not how this is going to be now, you need to remember and think about it. Did you fully step into the person that you want to be? Are you fully presenting yourself in the way that and how you want to be treated by others? Or is that person still emulating that same kind of behavior towards you because you haven't fully embraced the amazingness of who you are? Have you fully stepped into that yet? And sometimes, guilty, but sometimes we think that we have, and then the universe tests us by putting that same similar situation in front of us. Now, it might not look exactly the same. It might be milder looking. It might be slightly changed. But I think it really lends for us the ability to inner reflect and go, oh my gosh, what is that I haven't worked through yet? Or does it trigger, okay, I'm done. I'm done trying to tell this person this is not me anymore. Because sometimes we think certain people are in our lives because they're meant to stay forever, and maybe they're not. We don't really have control of that. We really don't. What we have control of is how we see ourselves, how we present ourselves to the world, and how our presence commands people to treat us in the amazing way we're meant to be treated. Are you getting that? Are you presenting yourself in the way that people can see you, who you are, appreciate you, respect you for you, see the qualities that you possess and you bring to the table, and love and appreciate that? And are you giving that to others? Because sometimes those people that are closest to us, we struggle the most to give that to. And we're all human, having a human experience on this human world journey that we are on. And right now, the world is asking you, the universe is asking you to step into the power and the authenticity of you, and to allow people to see you in that way. May it be triggering for some people? Absolutely. Especially if those people have known you for a long time and you've failed to let them see the truest, most authentic, rawest version of you. So I want you to think about that a little bit this week. How are you presenting yourself to the world? How are people mirroring to you things that you need to work on within yourself? And how can you heal from that? Recognize it, heal from it, feel it, let it go, release it back to source, back to your angels, back to your guides, back to that amazing spiritual team that is here to support you on your spiritual journey. How can you take all of that pain and frustration and lack of trust in yourself and heal from it and grow and give it back to the universe what no longer serves you? And it doesn't serve you to beat yourself up. It doesn't serve you to allow others to mistreat you in a way that is undeserving of the beautiful person that you are. So let me know, what are you going to do? What are you doing this week to start this work, to heal? What have you been doing? I know me, I am a crier. I just cry it on out. I think about it, I cry it on out, I journal, I spend time with my music, I get out of my own way. And I allow myself to feel the love from the people who are trying to give it to me. It's very triggering. Because there's so many moments in our lives where we may think that we are not loving ourselves in the way that we need to. And then it's hard to accept that from others. And then if we're not loving ourselves in the way that we should be loving ourselves, it's hard for us then to really fully love the people in our life that we want to love. And anyway, since I said I'm a crier, apparently this is very triggering for me, so I'm feeling it right now. And that's okay, because crying is not a sign of weakness. Crying is cleansing, and it gives you an opportunity to heal. And no matter where you're at on your journey, you're going to have moments. You're going to have moments where you have deep-rooted pain that you didn't even know was still hiding in there, and you just got to let it go. Okay? So I'm going to send you some beautiful celestite love, celestite calming love. So let's do this. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I'm going to send this beautiful celestite love to your heart chakra. Just feel that in your heart. Feel that in your soul. Just remember, love yourself. Love yourself and show the world what that looks like, what that love looks like. Have a beautiful and blessed week. Have some sound healing going on Sunday. Please feel free to sign up. I would love to have you in the class. It's a group class online on Zoom. You will get a recording afterwards. It's so healing. It's so relaxing. It's such a beautiful way to allow yourself to continue on your path of authenticity and healing. If you want some one-on-one sessions, I do have those available too. Go to tuneinwithmolly.com and click on services. I would love to see you and work with you. Have a beautiful and blessed week. Love you all.